We've got Chris,
Joanne,
Miss H,
Chris.
Suzanne, Jennifer in
Reed, thanks
Ohio,
for being here.
Victoria, Reed,
I see
Joanne.
Jennifer. I see Suzanne. Did y'all remember Romper Room? No, that's a U.S. thing, maybe. It was a show, a kids show. And the woman would literally say, I see Timmy, and
My matching bun's falling down.
That's a long read, Laura.
I messed this up.
Jennifer remembers Romper Room. Romper Stompers. Remember the Romper Stompers?
You were first in line for that, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if there was any stomping to be done.
Romper Room, not a girl.
Oh, you were on it, Jennifer. Wow.
Yes, I was. I think we went on it too, Jennifer. I think me and my brother did.
Wow, we've got Natasha in the house. The
we do. Welcome, Natasha. Thank you. Lori's here.
And Lori.
Nice to
Beverly.
see everybody. Hey, Beverly.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is midnight in the UK. I am still Mama, and the cafe is open. So pull up your comfy chair or your beanbag, grab your milky drink or your adult beverage or your fizzy pop. We accept everyone here. Wrap yourself in that snuggly blanket and we shall begin. So before I start, you may notice that it's not just me tonight, and regulars will know that that's our Thursday thing. We have a mama's meeting and I invite my friends from all around the world, well, the other side of the pond, and we look at things from 3 different perspectives. So we have Summer representing Canada, and we have Laura representing the good US of A. And we will do something a little bit different tonight. But before we begin, I just want to recap on a few of the things, because as I was saying to the ladies before we kicked off, it's been a bit of a day. And the day that I don't have to say it's been a bit of a day, it will be a really, really good day. So, anybody, I'll get this out of the way first, because I'm sure nobody has got any interest whatsoever. Allowed to share screen. I am going to get the hang of this one day, people. Allowed to share screen. Can you see me going in 3D now?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
There we go. Okay. So just an update, because you may or may not know, we've had local elections. So that's kind of like your state elections. They only affect local services. They do not affect who the Prime Minister is. They do not affect who is sitting in the House of Commons. They just affect who decides when your bins get picked up, etc. So the UK local election polls have closed as of 2 hours ago. They always are held on a Thursday, and they always close at 10 p.m., 7 a.m. till 10 p.m. And the local elections, according to the Sunday Guardian, are shaping up to be one of the largest democratic exercises in recent years. Voting's taking place across 136 councils, 6 mayoral contests with nearly 250,000 candidates competing for over 5,000 seats. And the scale makes it the biggest local electoral test since the 2024 general election. We do expect Labour will probably get a bit of a spanking, because with 4,000, let's have a look. The Reform UK, Labour alone. Oh, so Labour's defending the most seats, 2,500 seats. So that makes them very exposed, because if you've only got 100 seats to lose, you can only lose 100, worst case scenario. If you've got 2,500 seats to lose, you get me. So they're all going to be very busy. People like to register protest votes in the local elections, which is actually, in my humble opinion, pretty fucking dumb, because they're the people who give you your local services. So you're only hurting yourselves. And we're back, back in the room. So yeah, we don't know if Reform do well. That's our rather quite far centre-right party, then they will be lording it up forever and a day, and everybody will be gunning for Labour. So that's pretty much, you don't need to tune in now. Labour will lose seats. Reform will gain seats. The Green Party will gain seats. They'll all say Keir Starmer needs to resign. Okay, so don't bother watching for the next 2 days because I've just told you the results.
It sounds like you've been here before.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I done this. Can I just say a huge shout out to, I just want to get her name right, Senate, where's it gone? Not Senate. State Senator Louise Lucas of Virginia. We got you, sister. We got your back. We don't be doing the shit Fox News coverage where they talk about the corruption investigation. There is an investigation. The FBI are doing a thing. And to be honest, where's Nancy Guthrie, eh? Is it Guthrie? Is that her name? Savannah Guthrie's mum. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You can't find one old lady in New Mexico. Seriously. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. But we want to say...
Can I tell y'all one quick thing about Fox? You know, Fox just happened to be on the scene. Just happened to be there.
Yes.
When they raided the senator's space with their long guns and their tactical gear. Like this one old black lady, that it took all those if they were going to have to take her down. Anywho, you know, I had my procedure today, right? I go into the procedure room. There's a big TV playing. And what do you think's playing on there? Fucking Fox News.
It is Alabama.
News. I said, you're going to make me Fox News playing? I said, you need to change that channel. I did. I gave him grief. So we had a mini
what did
political
Summer say?
debate.
I missed what Summer said.
I did too. What'd you say?
I said you gave them grief.
I did give him grief. And
yeah.
But he's a hardcore Southern boy, you know.
I haven't seen any of the footage, but I heard the same, that they went to the marijuana dispensary. They arrested 4 people in handcuffs on the ground. What did they do? What are they going to do? Steal their snacks? Burst out into fits of laughter?
They just lost Cheetos and they were...
Cheeto theft.
They were trying to protect Cheetos. They had just gone to Dunkin' Donuts and they wanted to make sure they protected their snacks.
Summer,
the law enforcement
lagging for some reason.
I couldn't get away
Summer
with that.
lagging to the audience? Is Summer, is she lagging on y'all's end, the viewers' end? Is Summer's video lagging when she speaks?
I don't know, because you're both taking it in turns to lag a little bit. So Laura, you lag and then you come back, and then Summer's fine right at the moment, but you've gone a bit pixelated. Not very.
Not talking.
You're just fuzzy.
You're coming across perfectly. Okay.
Then why are we worried?
Yeah.
I see no problem here.
Kim says from now on she's going to cuss in a British accent because it sounds so beautiful. She can do that because
Kim, I said so many things.
My name is Mama, and I endorse Kim's message.
And Natasha says she speaks British accent half the time.
I love that.
That's awesome. I love it. It's beautiful. I told Mom I could listen to her read the phone and be perfectly happy.
Amy's right. We don't be saying that I'm coming through loud and clear because we know what's going to happen. Don't jinx it.
Yeah, right. Nobody say it.
So, apparently, there's been some stuff going on with Iran again. Things are on again, off again, in again, out again, shake it all about again. No fucking
once again, not blah.
All I know for certain is somebody's doing very well out of the stock market, but that's another story, and I'm sure not connected in any way, shape or form to either what's going on in Iran or the current administration, their friends and family. You may think there is.
Pretty soon we're going to have about 1,000 people left in the world who can afford to eat.
Yeah.
Did you ask me a question? I'm sorry, I was typing.
No, we're all good.
Good.
So that brings me quite seamlessly segueing on to the subject of our leaders. And that's what we're going to have a little look at tonight because it's quite an interesting um leaders, the people in the most senior positions in our various countries. We're going to do a little compare and contrast because there are some similarities between some of them and there are some striking differences. And we are going to try and give you our perspective of our individual leaders, and you can see where those similarities and differences are.
Can I make a polymarket bet real quick?
Sure.
I bet that my leader winds up being the most embarrassing of the three. The most embarrassing. I think he'll win that prize.
I don't think you're going to get very good odds on that, mate.
No kidding. Oh, yeah.
You could
That's
win
true.
and still lose.
What if I could? I don't think I could. I don't think I could. Yeah, manipulate that market very easily.
You could win your bet and still lose your money on that one, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'd
So
rather.
anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
So,
Carry
yes.
on.
One
Come on,
thing,
mate.
leadership, 3 countries, 3 perspectives, compare and contrast. And there've been 1 or 2 things going on in the world. I don't know if any of you have spotted them, but they're quite good benchmarks to see. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, who are the adults in the room? Because you sort of expect somebody in a leadership role to be adulting reasonably well. Not always the case, right, Laura?
No, because some of them wear diapers.
So I will kick you off because I've already introduced you. Sorry, I'm not just trying to show off my mediocre mama t-shirt. There will be merch
Which
available.
is awesome.
My leg was going to sleep. So, yes, I'll kick us off with Keir Starmer, who you've probably heard about, even if you're in the US, because
Yeah.
I don't think your leader likes our leader very much. I mean, he likes Charlie. We got that.
He
But
did.
I
Charlie
don't-
made it through.
I think his subscription to the Keir Starmer fan club has lapsed. I'm going to go out on a limb. But do you know what? He's not the only one who doesn't particularly like Keir Starmer. Anybody read a British newspaper or turned on the British news recently? They're not fans either. I wonder why that could be. I'm sure it's got nothing to do with their extremely wealthy offshore benefactors. You might think that that's the reason, but I'm just saying I'm sure it's got nothing to do with that, and that's completely coincidental, and they're not looking after their own interests. They genuinely do care about the British people and reporting the news in an honest fashion. Or maybe they don't. I don't know. We just bring you the facts. You make the decisions. So, some criticism absolutely is fair. Let's all agree that appointing twice previously disgraced Peter fucking Mandelson as any kind of anything was a bit of a boo-boo.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah. That one's not dead
Big.
yet. It's still running, and it probably still will, because quite frankly,
I would rate that boo-boo in the bigger category.
we are still finding pockets of the press who bring up the fact that Keir Starmer took a gift of 3 pairs of glasses from a Labour donor. And
Oh, dear.
that's still news.
Oh, the corruption.
So this one's gonna run.
Is he ever gonna rest?
I'm having a hard time here summer.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing summer. Yeah, I think we just need to try and take turns a bit better. Which probably means me stop talking over everyone.
I'm having trouble hearing her, so.
Okay. Well, I will tell you what's happening with. I'll tell you what's happening with Keir. and then we can get Summer rolling and see how she gets on. Okay, so what's actually been happening in the UK? Well, it's not been quiet. There's been a lot of adulting going on over here. This week, Keir Starmer attended the European Political Community Summit in Yerevan, Armenia. I think some other world leaders went to that one, didn't they, Summer?
I do believe someone was there. I'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, Laura, and any world leaders that you know of go to that summit in?
Don't know a single one, baby.
No. Fair enough. We'll come back to that.
I don't even think Newsom went to that.
This was, yeah, he might have done. He does like to go to that sort of thing. This
I
was.
think we should all just start saying it's a small world after all if you're in the United States.
Yeah. Mummy, okay, it's talking over Laura. Oh, okay. I will try not to talk over people. So back to Keir Starmer and the Yerevan summit. So this is actually the first British Prime Minister to visit Armenia since Margaret Thatcher in 1990, which I am reliably told is more than 10 years ago. Because when everybody talks about the 90s, I'm pretty sure they're talking about like 10, 15 years ago, but apparently not. Who knew?
Yeah.
There will be people seeing this video who weren't alive in that. No, I'm not going there. So.
Or as the Brits would say, just the other day. Just the other day.
Just the other day, yeah.
Charles did that so beautifully.
Back in the 90s, which very much in the UK is just the other day. That's literally breakfast time.
Yeah.
So why was he there? Well, he was entering into the talks to free up the £78 billion loan to Ukraine from the EU. And he was basically arguing that the benefits outweigh the cost and calling for all UK and EU leaders to go further and faster on defence collectively in general. So he was sat at the table with Ukraine. Yay, we love Volodymyr. Whoop, whoop. That's a leader. Just saying,
He is my hero.
In case anyone knows any leaders that aren't really very leadery. France, Macron, he does a pretty good job. Germany, Merz, I think his name is. I don't think Trump likes him either. I think there was a little bit of a falling out over Iran. Italy, we know he hates Italy. Yeah. Poland, Poland's quite good now with Donald. They still got Donald Tusk, the guy who used to be.
They're so close to Russia, aren't they?
The EU. They're close geographically, but they're not close.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, right next door.
But
and Canada.
Maybe in his head they are.
Canada were at the European Political Community Summit. It's almost like Canada are forging stronger links with Europe, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, I wonder why they might be doing that. Is it because their previous close relationships are looking a little bit shaky?
Peaked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Unreliable?
Yeah. They're just moving on. They're just moving on. Time to move on from this crazy shit over here.
And that's what they're doing. Not happening.
Oh, for God's sake.
Anyway.
I'm going to come fight on your side if he does that shit.
Sorry, you're welcome.
So, most of NATO are there. I say most because there were the odd member who weren't. The EU, they were there talking about fresh sanctions on the Russian military supply chains to try and further put the pressure on Russia. And they were basically showing up, doing the work. Oh, look, him in the chat. Oh, Canada.
Yes, I'm smiling
at you. All the words, but I would know your national anthem if one of your Formula One motor racing drivers ever won a Grand Prix. And that is literally the only way I would know your national anthem. Everybody in the world that goes out to. That's how I learn national anthems, by watching Formula One motor racing. So, what else has our Prime Minister been doing? Well, it's not all been jetting about in Europe. We've had some really positive statistics on the small boats crisis, which is basically our southern border, if you like. So the press really, really loved to use this particular stick to beat Keir Starmer with, because he was very against the idea of rounding up people who've risked their lives to get across the channel in major shipping lanes in the middle of winter and
Wow.
hoiking them off to some country they've got absolutely no ties with. Keir Starmer's not a fan. He Get this, he thinks we should be targeting the criminals who are bringing the people across rather than the people fleeing horrible things and risking their lives to do so. I know, crazy. You wouldn't
Imagine.
expect that, would you, from a former director of public prosecutions, lawyer,
Yeah.
legal person? Anyway, so yes, we've had some good stats this week, which nobody wants to talk about. So I'm gonna. Small boat crossings in March 2026 were down more than 50% compared to March 2025. The lowest March total since 2023. They're down 33% year on year for the January to March period overall. Net migration is down almost 70%, with visa numbers continuing to fall. Not solved, not perfect, but measurably moving in the right direction. I think it would be hard to argue otherwise. Can I just say, this is good news, in my opinion, because fewer people are risking their lives to get to the UK, not because fewer brown people are landing on the shores in a desperate fashion. That we need to find a way for those desperate people who are seeking refuge in the UK to be able to get here safely. But it is a
Right.
good thing if they're not risking their lives crossing the channel in a dinghy. So just to make that clear, because I am quite white and you would be forgiven for thinking that I'm one of those who think, no, small boats, we don't want those people over here. Yes, we do. We just want them to get here safely, for fuck's sake.
Did you hear about the thing that Donald Trump floated for border control to put alligators and snakes and reptiles on the other side? Did y'all hear about that? Dude has lost his fucking mind. I mean,
Yeah,
he
you could have
said
fleshed
he
it out.
wants to put a moat around our entire country. I think that's what he thinks he can do. Let's just dig a big moat. The wall didn't work.
Well, if he carries on with his plans, he can just extend the United States down a bit and
Oh my
up a
God.
bit,
You
and then
kidding
there'll
me,
be a
Victoria?
natural moat all the way around the Pacific, the Arctic, the Atlantic. It'll just be one big moat all the way around, and they'll just keep the people
Yeah.
that they want.
Right. Throw the rest of us to the alligators,
Yeah,
especially the Arctic alligators.
yeah, pretty much. But that's not all we've been doing over here in the UK. We've been having one
Yes,
or
you
two
did.
problems because there are two types of people who may be stirring up shit, let's say. There are lots of groups, but in this particular context, there have been some horrible, horrible targeted attacks on our Jewish population, particularly in North London, where there's quite a high Jewish population. Now, some of these are stupid people who are angry with Israel's behavior in Palestine and Lebanon. I get that. I get the anger. I share the anger. It's got fuck all to do with the Jewish people living in this country. So leave them the fuck
Right.
alone, you anti-Semite.
Right.
Then
Agreed.
you've got the usual assholes, the far right fascist neo-Nazis who just hate other people. And this is a really good time to jump on, oh, we hate Israel, therefore all Jews are bad, let's hurt them bandwagon. No, fuck right off, leave them the fuck alone, stay in your lane, mind your business, and just stop being a fucking asshole. That's my professional advice. But the latest attack, which I'm a little bit annoyed about how it's been presented, there was an attack which culminated in 2 Jewish men in Golders Green, a heavily populated Jewish area of London, being attacked by a knife by a man with a history of mental health difficulties. But there were not 2 people attacked by this man with a knife. There were 3 people, but the first person was a brown-skinned Muslim man. So he's not very interesting. He doesn't get the newspaper coverage. Now, I don't mind. I do not mind. Because my lovely number 1 son was saying he thinks that the first person might have been known to the attacker. Fine. I get the notion that different victims are reported on differently, and I have opinions on that. If that was a domestic dispute that ended up in fisticuffs and knives, that is different from going out into the street and attacking complete strangers because you think they're something. But there is absolutely no excuse to say that a man is in custody after attacking 2 people with a knife when he attacked 3 people with a knife. That's just factually incorrect. Okay? Rant over. Anywho, there is a very large Jewish population in London, in particular in North London, and they are quite understandably feeling very afraid because these are not the first attacks. There have been attacks on Jewish ambulance services, just generally really bad, stupid people behaving really badly and stupidly, and they need to fucking stop. But
Is it related to the war? I mean, the fact Gaza and Lebanon, the fact that Israel keeps attacking them, is that what that anti-Semitism is related to in your country?
yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Well,
don't get me wrong. Anti-Semitism is as pervasive and as ubiquitous as racism. It's never
it
going to
really
go
is.
away. You know,
I don't
pick a
get it. I
pick a
don't get it.
group to hate today, and you'll always find somebody who's hating them. But some people are like I said, some people are just not firing on all cylinders and are making connections that aren't actually there. So let's target these innocent Jewish people.
We have a leader doing that.
Yeah, to get back at those very guilty Israelis who are attacking innocent people, because that makes sense in crazy land. But there are also other bad actors who will be using it as cover. Some of these attacks have been considered hate crimes. They've all been investigated as potential terrorist attacks, and nothing's come from those investigations in that direction. But absolutely, these are targeted hate crimes. And there's just no place in any country for this nonsense. Just fucking stop it.
Right.
Haven't
Yeah,
you
stay
got
in your lane. You
families
said
to
it best.
argue with? You have to
Right.
pick on people
Stay
you
in your
don't
own
know.
damn lane. Live and let live. You know, if it's not hurting you, if it's not doing anything directly to affect you, then leave it the hell alone, you know?
And I clearly, or not clearly, am not Jewish. I do not understand the existential threat of the Jewish people, and I never
I
will
don't
be
understand
able to.
the racism towards them. I don't get that. I completely don't get it. Unless it's just related to the fact that they killed Jesus back in the day. I guess that's where it all stems from in the Christian world.
I don't
But
know.
he was Jewish, you
I
know.
don't think we should go there, and I don't think anybody behaving hatefully today really has the faintest idea what they're angry about.
I think you're right. Exactly
think
right.
what I've found is that people look for the excuse to let go of what that they don't even understand. So all of their unresolved trauma, all of their unresolved issues, that just comes out, and it usually comes out in ways that they've learned over time, or ways that have been permitted by constant conditioning in media,
Yes.
wherever they get that. So that has really created a problem. And Canada increased in hate crimes by 38% year over year. So let's not that's in the year that Donald Trump was going for election to the year that he started in office again. So there is absolutely no doubt that the um, volume that he turns up in terms of violence and rhetoric that like I have no doubt whatsoever that it impacts our country. There's a lot of research that supports my assertion, but it's my opinion, not with or without the research. So, just
Yeah.
saying.
No,
Makes
absolutely.
sense.
You will have noticed that there are a core, slightly going out of my lane, but there is a quorum of people who will always vote for Trump, no matter how bad he makes
Yeah.
their lives, because
There's
he
no
gives
line.
them permission to hate. He gives them permission to hate
That's exactly
black
it.
and brown people, Jewish people, women, disabled people, transgender people, LGBTQ plus people, anybody that isn't
Yeah.
them. And while he
That isn't male and white.
while he gives them that permission, they will just bend over and take it, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And wear bigger
Anyhow.
shoes than what fit them. I agree with that completely.
Sorry.
So
Sorry.
back to these horrific
When the
anti-Semitic
shoe fetish comes in.
back to the horrific anti-Semitic attacks in North London. As I said, I have got no idea what it feels like to be persecuted for existing. I'm a white woman, how could
Yeah.
I?
Well, I do, but that's another story.
But I do have an awful lot of faith, misplaced or not, in Keir Starmer. And I think the way that the media have reported it, the local community have responded to the various politicians who've turned up in their neighbourhoods is difficult to comprehend. So following the stabbing of the two Jewish men in Golders Green, as I say, which is part of a rising pattern of attacks, Starmer convened an emergency number 10 tackling anti-Semitism forum. So number 10, think the White House, if you're not familiar. It's where the Prime Minister lives and works. He also raised our national terrorism threat level to severe, whether or not these turn out to be terror related. And we don't think this one that prompted the terror level being raised actually was. We think this was more of a mental health issue. But nevertheless, as a cumulative thing, we've raised the terror level to severe. And he also went on to announce 25 million with an M pounds in additional funding to protect our Jewish communities. He personally visited Golders Green with the Home Secretary and the Metropolitan Police Commissioner. That's like Kash Patel with an IQ. In his own words, basically, he said, sorry, I'm sure Kash
That
Patel's
was
got an
good.
IQ. I just don't know if anybody can find it.
You know we're listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, he certainly can't.
MIA.
So when he went to Golders Green, he said to the people that he was meeting there, quote, "It's not enough to simply say we stand with Jewish communities. We have to show with action." And good to his word, he has put in some actions. Now, it's a debate for another day whether he's done enough, but he has done more than nothing, which is something. That's just maths, that is. You can have that one for free. And this is the man who spent years, he rose to the top of the Labour Party basically by trying to purge anti-Semitism itself out of the Labour Party, because there was a core that was allowed to persist under Jeremy Corbyn. And I'm not saying Jeremy Corbyn is an anti-Semite. I'm saying there was anti-Semitism running through the party when Jeremy Corbyn was the leader, and it wasn't tackled robustly enough. But when Keir Starmer came along, I believe it was. Certainly, it was tackled much more aggressively. His wife is Jewish. I know that's probably like saying some of my best friends are black, but do you know what I mean?
It's like calling up Thomas' wife is black.
You would think that he cares about his wife, probably. You know, he married her. And any threat to her and his children, because they have a Jewish mother, therefore they're Jewish by birth,
Right.
he would want to mitigate. But no. Do you want to know what the response was to him being there?
Oh, please.
Chants from the crowd, Keir Starmer, Jew harmer.
Why?
So they found something that rhymed and decided that's a good idea.
Yeah. Obviously, they couldn't find anything to rhyme with Farage, because when he showed up in Golders Green, he was lauded as some kind of saviour. Now, those of you who weren't here for our Reform UK expose, this is the man whose former classmate, a Jewish man called Peter Ettigy, he alleged that Farage repeatedly made anti-Semitic remarks at Dulwich College, including things like Hitler was right and Gassam. Dulwich College's own senior master called the alleged behaviour, quote, profoundly distressing and, quote, wholly incompatible with the values the college holds. Now, I have to say, Mr. Farage denies this. He denies behaving anti-Semitically. He has denied it in various ways, ranging from complete full denial that he ever did or said such things to denial that he ever did or said such things in an anti-Semitic way.
Sorry. I did
leave
not
with
have
that
sexual relations with that girl.
That woman.
Yeah,
That woman.
exactly. But no. He shows up and he gets applauded. And can I tell you a
brother.
little bit more about what our lovely Uncle Nigel's been up to this week?
He's going to piss me off.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to love it. You don't know this. I haven't told you this.
Can I get a green light?
Oh, my God.
Green light?
Red light.
Green
Here,
light?
yeah,
Red light.
absolutely.
Red light.
Absolutely. Yeah, come. I'll help you. So, elections today. In the run up to the elections, everybody's got their little campaigns, their campaign promises. Would you like to know what they actually, the leaders, not just Farage, but his buddy Zia, stood up in front of camera and told the voting public? He said, basically, and I'm paraphrasing, we're going to round up all the Johnny foreigners, stick them in detention camps, and we promise if you vote for reform and you elect a reform council in your area, we won't put these detention centres in your area. We'll go and put them in any area that votes for the Green Party. Because they hate Zach Balansky, the leader of the Greens.
I got to say something, because this is, if you look back in history, all countries around the world, allied and otherwise, were fighting Hitler and that message in their countries as well.
Yeah.
That's why these groups and us talking is so important, because we have to understand that because we have a majority of people who are speaking out in a way that is reasonable and human, doesn't mean that there isn't that evil underneath. So if we stop speaking out in reasonable and human and connecting ways, the evil will take over. And I don't want to point to Donald Trump to make my point, but it's a pretty big point to make. So I just want to back Mama here on her observations, because it's a global issue. It doesn't matter what country you're in. We must stand up and shine our flashlights on this. And we must understand that this isn't just a story in the news. This is a movement underneath the current, underneath the river that's flowing.
Yeah.
And we all have to drink the
Absolutely.
water from that river.
Yeah, and that,
So I'm sorry,
ladies
Mom.
and gentlemen, is why I've gathered you all here today, because this is a message that although Laura is here basically so that we can take the piss out of her for that squatter in the White House. That's her basic function here. But Summer and I are here to tell you, here's somebody behaving like an adult, but look, we've also got one that isn't. And Summer will tell you more about her non-adult when I finally stop talking and hand over. Oh my God. Do you know what? They've even got a postcode checker, so you can check whether you'd be safe or not from one of these detention centers. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
That's crazy.
Anyway.
I mean, it's not crazy. It's not too crazy to imagine. I can tell you that.
I won't go over the Christopher Harborn Thai billionaire donations to Nigel Farage because he's been referred to the Parliamentary Standards Committee. So they will be investigating him.
Oops.
Because the rules are you must declare all donations over a certain amount that happen within the 12-month period before the election. So it doesn't matter that he wasn't an MP at the time. It doesn't matter even that he said he wasn't going to run, he wasn't even going to lead the Reform Party. If it happened in the 12 months before he became an MP, it must be declared. It was not. So, Uncle Nige, I'm going to leave that one to you. I'm sure you'll sort it out.
17 minutes till Glenn, Kim posted. How did we do that?
How did we do that?
He's on it.
Is he on
He's
early?
on it. Is he early? He usually goes on at 8:30.
Okay, I'm going to whiz past. Just needless to say, the weekend was quite enlightening because leaders of the Reform Party were supposed to be on the local news shows like your breakfast shows in the United States and Canada to basically say, you know, why you should vote for them.
45 minutes to Glenn.
Great. It's the weekend, the last weekend before voting takes place. So everybody goes out, they give them all equal time because of these equal time directives. I know you have it in the United States because Brendan Carr's been all up in but that's like going back a couple of weeks, so we've probably all forgotten about that.
Old news, girl. Old news.
It is absolutely exhausting. But we turn on to watch Laura Kuenssberg, who, I'll be honest, I don't fucking like at all, interview. See, you know that's my opinion. I'm not telling you Laura Kuenssberg is an absolutely appalling, totally biased.
I'm going to have to add her last name to my name now. Not Loomer, not Ingram, not
Kuenssberg. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not saying those things about her. I'm saying I don't particularly like the woman. And I'm leaving it at that. But she's got them all coming on her show, all the party leaders. No Uncle Nige. You're thinking, well, that's a bit shocking. Surely he wouldn't just not show up because he didn't want to face awkward questions about a £5 million undeclared donation. Well, you'd be right, because here's his official statement from his team. He's campaigning in Clacton. That's his constituency. That's the place he has never held a single surgery. Think town hall on a 1-to-1.
Right.
But on that day, when he's booked to be on national television on the BBC,
He decides he'll go campaign.
yeah, he's getting his hair done.
He's probably drinking Kentucky bourbon with Crash.
Even Kemi Badenoch, who I will go on the record to say, I'm not a fan. Now, I'm not going to go out and say she's a horrible woman with abhorrent views, and I really don't understand how she can have such racist views as a black woman. I'm not going to say any of that. I'm just going to say I don't like her very much and leave it at that. But even she, I have to agree with when she called him too scared to show up.
It's sort of the truth.
The Green Party said he was on the run, which in a way he kind of is when you've got £5 million to explain. But yes,
That sounds like such small change to me now. Isn't that weird?
I know. It's nothing, is it?
I mean, our asshole's dealing in the billions, so.
Well, look at it. 5 million, that goes on Polymarket in a minute before the latest Iran ceasefire most times.
Right.
Anyway, there have been other ridiculousness from reform, but I'm boring most of you because it's not as impactful because this is happening on our little tiny island over here, but it's a cautionary tale. I am not here with these amazing women because I just want to be angry about something. I can see America sneezes, we all catch a cold. We have got to put our face masks on, get ourselves vaccinated, and fucking fight back. And with that, Laura, what can you tell us about your esteemed leader?
Oh my God. There's so much. There's so much. But I can tell you the ones that just really stood out to me. For one thing, he had this kids event at the White House.
Yes, he did.
Remember that? He had a kids event because he relaunched the presidential fitness test that Obama had 86th because he felt like it was making kids.
You mean he'd murdered it?
He murdered it, girl.
Oh, no.
He just out now murdered that presidential fitness test. I mean to tell you.
Sorry, carry on.
Right, we digress. So Obama 86'd it because he felt like it was affecting kids' self-image, right? And it probably was, to be honest. Because I remember those damn things. I remember having to go through those stupid things. I was athletic and I did okay, but those poor kids that were not, oh my God. And I'm sure I was probably one of those assholes that poked fun at them. I mean, I was never a bully at all, but I'm sure I said some mean girl things back in the day.
I was the fat
which
kid.
mortifies me to.
We'll discuss this
Oh my
later.
God. Okay. Yeah.
But look at the things.
Anyway.
Sorry to interrupt you and cut you off. Look at the things on the presidential fitness test. And then tell me how anybody remotely not fully able-bodied is going to take
He
part.
should have to pass it. No, Trump should have to pass the presidential fitness test himself before he puts it back out there. Yeah. Which he couldn't. We had to do like damn climbing up a rope and pull-ups and hard stuff,
Yeah, all those things that able-bodied people can do. Haven't we moved on from this?
Yeah, you'd think. So he brings that back because he thinks we're getting too lazy and large or something. Was that his
well, he's an expert.
He says he is, isn't he? Right? Stinky pants and all. So picture him. Okay, he's surrounded by these little school children, and you've seen him with school children if you saw the video of him at Easter. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there are registries for people like him.
Yeah.
Huh?
There are registries for people like him, and it's not like a wedding registry. It's a don't go within 500 meters of a school kind of registry.
Exactly. Yeah, he is creepy as hell around kids to me. And he always launches into it. It's like a mini Trump rally for adults, but it's really a kids, but turns into a fucking Trump rally. Every time he talks to kids, he's bringing up the fact or his policy shit. What maybe?
Oh, what did he do?
Well, he starts to rant about the Nobel Prize, claims he ended 8 wars, and then describes Iranian protesters being shot, like literally describes it between the eyes. And let's see, his exact words. I wish I could do his. You can have 200,000 people protesting and have 5 or 6 sick people with guns. When they start shooting them right between the eyes and you see a guy fall, a woman drop dead with a bullet right there. He said this out loud to 2 kids. Those kids would probably be having nightmares for the rest of their lives after that. And then apparently he catches himself mid-Iranian nuclear weapons discussion and says, "You might be too young for this." Yeah, me, you fucking idiot. Do you really think they might be too young?
Oh my God, he's an imbecile.
He is so stupid. That man is so damn dense. How anybody could worship him like an idol.
I never expected to ever say this in my life, but I kind of feel a little bit sorry for Don, Eric, Ivanka, and the other one.
Oh, right?
Oh, and
Yeah.
Tiffany. Sorry, I always forget
how does
Tiffany.
it-
Sorry, Tiffany. No disrespect intended.
No, she's probably grateful that you forgot her and wished that you had just kept forgetting her.
Sorry,
I would
Tiffany.
be very thankful.
Sorry for forgetting you and then for remembering you, Tiffany.
And yeah, when I should have kept you forgotten.
She took her husband's name.
Oh, Laura,
So-
have you got what he said about trans kids? Because the good Pam
Oh,
reminds
yeah.
us of that.
Yep. Let's see.
I hear that was pretty close to the knuckle.
Yes, that was horrible. I saw that. Let me find that one. It was wicked, really. Let's see.
I know what it was.
It was
You
yeah.
got it.
the word. Yeah, he starts talking to these kids about first of all, he's got this young boy in front of him and he asks him what he wants to do, and he says, "Well, I eventually want to be a power lifter." Trump launches into this whole thing about a trans female power lifter apparently that won the right.
He loves
the
that
record.
story.
And he cannot let that go. And so he's telling this boy that, okay, he's telling him the story of that. And he says, he launches into what transgender is to these kids. And he says, yes, it's mutilization of their body. Your body gets all mutilated. Yeah. Mutilization.
According to the
Yeah.
dictionary
Is
of
that
Donald.
Is that like a freeze-dried version of mutilation?
I think maybe
Fertilizer version of mutilation. Like
it's the fertilizer version. Who knows? Oh my God. But yeah, and he used
everything you need.
He used it over and over. He did not use it one time. He did not use it twice. He used mutilization over and over talking to these kids.
But doesn't that
And
tell
they were
you
probably thinking, you
everything?
stupid idiot.
Everything you need to know about a man's judgment on a subject
Right there.
he doesn't even know the word for.
These kids are probably going, mutilization? I didn't learn that word. I thought it was mutilized. You know,
Not going to get that in the spelling bee.
Mutilated. Oh, I got a hummingbird outside my window. So there's that. Yeah.
Wow.
He knows nothing about the medical procedure that's required or the process and how long it takes to transition someone,
Wait, no.
And he has not a clue.
I think you're wrong. I know you work in healthcare, but I think kids are showing up at school as a boy and then they're going into a room ending up
And they come home
going
as well.
son's penis.
That's what's happening. Yeah, that's what's happening.
I heard it on Fox News.
I think they may be swapping penises. Like, I'll give you my vagina if you give me your penis. And it
Trades at lunch.
Oh, like your cards, your top trumps,
Oh
literally.
my God.
yeah,
Man
right.
say it's acetaminophen. Okay, he can't
That's,
say.
I know, right? That should have been our first clue. Let's not get too invested in this man who can't even say acetaminophen. Right.
That's actually a nice transition. Talking about getting invested. Anything that Congress are investing in this week?
I had to have myself a red light or a few after I heard about this. Oh my God. And I watched HCR do a politics chat about this. She was
Heather
furious.
Cox
I've never
Richardson.
seen her. Yes, never seen her that angry. She was furious. She actually cursed, and you never see HCR curse.
Wow.
But anyway, so they've been trying that we've had DHS, sorry, closed because the Democrats were refusing to fund it completely unless they revamped ICE and the requirements for ICE to demask and label themselves and follow basic law enforcement rules. Right? Okay, Amy, I got you, baby. Red light. I'm back to the light. Red light. So, the Republicans get the bright idea. Well, I know how we can fix this. We'll just do a what's it called, a reconciliation bill. There you go. Boom, bing, bang, boom. We'll pass that. We'll get our funding. And lo and behold, what they slipped in there, unbeknownst, I don't think it was known for when they actually did it. $1 billion in taxpayer funding for the ballroom. The ballroom,
the fully funded ballroom.
The very ballroom that taxpayers wasn't going to cost them a penny. The very ballroom that went from 200 million to 250 million to about 350 million to 400 million, and now we're at $1 billion of taxpayer money. Yes, we are supposed to fund that monstrosity piece of shit.
Y'all, I don't have healthcare, right?
Hmm?
You got a nice ballroom, but no healthcare. Is that what the budget says?
That's kind of it. Yeah, that's bottom line. And we took SNAP away from what?
I said, keep putting those red lights up there, Amy.
Yeah.
Woo, girl, I needed some. I came on Discord and I was in all caps. I was pissed.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that has been challenged in court, and I think that's where it currently sits.
Wow.
The critics were withering. The ballroom is a vanity project. It's not a national security project. He keeps saying that this $1 billion is only to fund the security of the building.
I did mention in a post I put all over social media this week, if it's going to cost 400 billion,
Jesus.
Couldn't you put decent security in the first place?
You'd think. They are. They're building bunkers and hospitals and shit underneath it. What, Summer?
There's a distinct pattern with Trump, and you have to understand this. He creates a problem, and then he spends your money because he's got to fix the problem he created. So he destroys part of something so he can take your money and do what he wants with it. And he does this.
And then he comes up with an excuse to be the hero.
Oh, well,
he also starts wars with that same idea and that same pattern of behavior. I mean, as a criminologist and as a former detective, I would be like, this is, a psychopath.
He can't get past, let's do this, into what are the consequences. He stops with, let's do this. Okay,
stop.
Back to Mama.
I can't take any more of this. I will come back.
You've lost control.
Summer, please.
30 minutes to go in.
For some adulting.
Okay, listen.
Some adult.
I really have to tell a story. And I got to read it to you Canadian style, because that is part of this whole deal, is we're supposed to bring a little bit of our vibe to you.
We
So
won't
this is
Right.
going to sound a little different than England. It's going to sound a lot different than the United States, but please bear with me. Okay, so this is the story of two men, one country, in a very, very weird week here in Canada. So we have Mark Carney, Pierre Polyev, and the increasingly Canadian art of surviving global chaos with snacks and mild concern. Canada has had many political weeks, some historic, some inspiring, some deeply regrettable, and some where it feels like the entire country collectively opens the news app and mutters, well, that escalated quickly. This was one of those weeks. Because while the rest of the world continues behaving like a group project designed by caffeinated raccoons, Canada somehow found itself watching two profoundly different political energies collide in real time. On one side, Mark Carney, a man who speaks like he was assembled in a secure vault beneath the Bank of Canada by economists who whispered, make him reassuring but slightly intimidating.
Yeah.
And on the other, Pierre, the politician with the energy of a man who could successfully argue with a parking meter and somehow leave the parking meter emotionally defeated. Both men had a week. Carney's week looked less like normal politics and more like somebody accidentally handed him responsibility for the entire Western democratic order before breakfast. The man spent the week discussing European alliances, airport capital strategy, global stability, defense procurement, trade diversification, democratic resilience, and sovereign wealth structures. At one point, he was only 3 meetings away from personally reorganizing tectonic plates. Okay, I might have added that. Okay. For all of Trump's rule by chaos, Carney meets him and raises him order and decency. Meanwhile, Canadians sat at home eating toast, going, yes, yes, continue, spreadsheet folder. Because whether people agree with him politically or not, Carney has discovered something extraordinary in modern politics. If you remain calm long enough, people begin treating you like the emotional support lavador of democracy. The man could probably announce an asteroid impact by saying, we are monitoring several concerning developments in the upper atmosphere.
Yeah.
And half the country would respond, okay, marked calm, maybe we'll survive.
Right.
One of the biggest moments came during the European Political Community Summit in Armenia. One where he warned against an insular and brutal world, which is one of the most polite ways anyone has ever described the internet. Carney essentially walked into a gathering of anxious democracies and delivered the international equivalent of, all right, everyone, perhaps we could stop settling civilization on fire for content. And the fascinating thing about Carney is that he never sounds dramatic. He sounds concerned the way your accountant sounds concerned when they discover you've claimed boat snacks as a business expense. Quiet, measured, profoundly disappointed. Then came the appointment of Louise Arbour as Canada's next Governor General. This was my favorite part of the week. Just got to interject. That appointment had such intent, competent adult has entered the chat energy that somewhere across the world, several corrupt politicians probably developed stress hives simultaneously. Because Louise Arbour is not symbolic fluff. She is a former Supreme Court justice and international war crimes prosecutor. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, F you. That's not a ceremonial appointment. That's a warning label.
Let's hope.
Meanwhile, while Carney spent the week looking like he was calmly updating the operating system for democracy, Pierre Polyev, or Polly Cracker as I like to call him, had the political equivalent of showing up to a chess tournament with a flamethrower and discovering everyone suddenly wants conflict de-escalation.
Wow.
To be fair, Pierre, he remains extremely effective at what he does. The man can deliver political soundbite with terrifying efficiency. Honestly, if sarcasm were renewable energy, Polyev could power Saskatchewan.
Like Bondi could
This week,
New York. like Bondi
Exactly.
County, York.
Absolutely. But this week exposed a difficult shift in political gravity because Pierre built his rise during a period where Canadians were furious. Inflation, housing, institutional distrust, economic frustration, a growing sense that everything cost too much and nobody was steering the bus. That environment suited him perfectly. He became the voice of, "Are you seeing this nonsense too?" And millions replied yes. But this week, the national mood seemed to evolve from "we are angry" to "okay, but seriously, does anybody here know how to prevent global collapse?" And unfortunately for opposition parties everywhere, those are the different emotional markets. It's hard to keep yelling, "the system is broken," while standing beside a central banker calmly explaining contingency planning like Gandalf with bonds yields.
It's true.
Because Carney doesn't really fight emotionally. He absorbs attacks the way an airport absorbs weather delays, annoyed, slightly delayed, but fundamentally operational. Honestly, debating Carney must feel like to fist fight a PDF document. Perhaps the funniest thing about this entire week is how deeply Canadian the whole dynamic feels, because Americans tend to elect political fireworks. Canada looked at worldwide instability and apparently said, no, bring us the careful economist who looks like he apologizes to furniture when he bumps into it.
I do that.
The world is
I do.
I do it all the time. So the world is screaming. Markets are shaking. Geopolitics resemble a kitchen fire. And Canada responds, perhaps someone calm should make a chart. Now, none of this means Pierre is politically finished, not remotely. Canadian politics changes direction faster than a Toronto Uber driver missing an exit. But this week did highlight something important. The public mood appears exhausted, tired of panic, tired of fury, tired of politics, feeling like cage fighting sponsored by energy drinks.
Exactly.
And suddenly, there's a strange new political advantage in simply sounding emotionally housebroken, which may explain why Carney's entire vibe this week felt less like "vote for me" and more like "I have located the emergency exits." And maybe that's the real story. Not left versus right, not liberals versus conservatives, but two entirely different responses to instability. One says the house is on fire, the other says, yes, here is an evacuation protocol. And right now, a surprising number of Canadians appear deeply interested in the evacuation protocol. To be fair, Canadians are also fully capable of changing their minds in approximately 11 minutes. By next Tuesday, we may all be living in a canoe powered by maple syrup and constitutional anxiety. But for this week, at least, Canada watched two men attempt to define the emotional future of the country, one through outrage, one through reassurance. And perhaps history's strangest sentence is now becoming true. In 2026, the hottest political in Canada may actually be, I know this is going to blow you guys away, competence. Which honestly must be devastating news for cable television.
There's no ratings in competence.
Could we have an evacuation plan, please?
I'm going to regret asking this, but Laura,
yes,
any
ma'am.
other highlights from your leader that we could compare and contrast against what's been going on in Canada?
Well, honey, let's just pick an hour and I can tell you about it, I think. We got the whole damn gerrymandering Supreme Court bullshit. Now, I need a red light, Amy, please, to talk about this.
We could spend a week on gerrymandering.
Oh my God. I mean, they blew it. Supreme Court just obviously went against our Constitution, the 14th Amendment, when they did this. Yeah, Amy, thank you. But I mean, if any of us don't know what's going on about the gerrymandering, I could go into it, but I think we all kind of know that story.
We see it.
Yeah, right. It's disgusting. I can tell you, instead of reading this from my paper, okay, I'm going to tell you what I've seen on the news. I watch MS Now because I believe they try to report the facts, and they will tell you when they have not verified this something. We have not independently verified this from MS Now has not independently verified this. So I love that about them.
Yeah, that's good.
Right? And so I believe, that's who I watch and believe. But they were showing, what they've done is take for Tennessee, for instance, and God knows what's coming to Alabama. They may have already, they actually redrew maps here in Alabama while we were under a tornado watch yesterday with sirens going off and shit. And they are in there trying to get that map drawn as quickly as possible. Thank you, Amy, for my red lights. I needed that. Tennessee, okay, you've got two predominantly Black districts, one near Nashville and one I think is in Memphis. Those are the only two Democratic districts in the state of Tennessee of about 8 or 9 districts, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So what they've done, okay, to dilute that Black vote / Democratic vote, they have taken and they have divided in thirds each of those little pockets of democracy, like a pie. So 1/3 of those go in this district, 1/3 of them goes over here, 1/3 goes here, and they did it in Nashville and they did it in Memphis, and people were pissed. Stacey Abrams came to Tennessee from Georgia, to the I guess the courthouse. I'm not sure where they do their legislation there at the Capitol, wherever they were. But there were protests, lots and lots of people that were pissed coming there to protest.
What are the odds, and this is an actual question, what are the odds that by dividing each of the, I'm going to say liberal, but Democratic voters into 3 different districts, that they lose 3 spots instead of just the one they were gonna?
It's called dummy mandering, and it's a thing.
Because that's possible, because there's a lot of people who are in the Republican Party who don't want any of this crap going on. They're just conservative thinkers.
Because they know it backfires. It backfired. It's backfired
They
before.
show up to vote. So you bet your butt that those people who got displaced are going to be showing up. So what are the odds? I don't know how red all those other places are that they're separating them into. But I see them lose this bet.
Can I just give credit where credit's due? Because that is some fast fucking work on the back of that SCOTUS decision, don't you think?
So here's the thing, too. Speaking of that, Stacey Abrams asked the question, can I see the decision? We don't have it yet. And she said, I, in my entire 11 years in the legislature, have never seen anybody pass a bill on a law they don't even have yet.
On hearsay.
Yeah. Pretty much the news, right? Reporting. They didn't even have the decision hadn't even been, they didn't have it in their hand to look at it before they went scurrying. It's been like here in the South, it has been like a gerrymander scurry. It's this furious race to see. And you're right, Summer. I think there's a lot more closet Trump disappointed Trump voters than are willing to admit it, and they cannot bring themselves to vote Democrat, but they just won't go vote, and that's what'll happen. The Democrats will show up. They diluted their vote.
I hope.
Oh, I do too. And it's a possibility. I mean, dummy mandering is a real thing. It's happened where they just dummy mandered themselves right out of the seats they thought they were going to get. Yeah.
I believe you have one more good news story for us. And I don't mean good news for us. I mean good news for a select group of people. We hinted at it earlier. Laura, what's happened?
Okay, so it has layers. Minutes before Trump posted on Truth Social about productive conversations, okay, quote unquote, with Iran, roughly 6,200 oil futures contracts changed hands in a single minute with the notional value of 580 million. Trading volumes leapt 27 seconds before the post. Okay? Now, what does that tell us? We're not stupid. And by the way, Kashi has put guardrails on their trading site for this shit. They are not going to tolerate insider betting.
Good.
Bidding. They're not. Yeah. So Kashi is doing something about it. Poly market, on the other hand, not so much. So on April 7th, at least 50 newly created poly market accounts, 50 new accounts, right, that hadn't bet before on anything, placed bets on a U.S.-Iran ceasefire shortly before Trump announced one on Truth Social.
Oh,
right?
come off it.
Yeah. And then the White House sent a staff-wide email warning against using confidential information to place trades. Like, okay, the email is the receipt. They knew it was happening. They
I
told
love that. I
They
love
told
that
them.
this staff needs telling not to insider
Yes, it does,
trade.
Chris. And Chris reminds us that Trump Jr. is on the board of Polymarket.
Yes.
There's that. Okay. And so, the family connection. Yep. I was getting there, Chris. Don Jr. has a stake in Polymarket. He actually is invested and is on the board, and an advisory role at Kalshi. They need to get his ass off that advisory role. He will fuck them up. Somebody's going down for this eventually. It may not be.
Yeah, I have faith they all will. I do.
I do too. I mean, if we don't get them for anything else, which I can't imagine we can't, we'll certainly get them for insider trading. And I think every bit of that money they make should go back into our treasury, to fund knocking down that piece of shit ballroom. So, 2 of the main prediction market platforms flagging suspicious activity. When asked about it, Trump's response was essentially, if someone bets on their own winning team, that's fine. He doesn't get it. I think that went straight over his stupid head, because it's not a winning team until they win. And you're betting, it made no sense to me. It didn't. That's like Pete Rose betting on his own team. Well, yeah, I don't think they used to be able to do that, did they? Right?
Wow.
Dumbass.
Yeah, he gets it.
Yeah, he gets it.
He's a con man. He gets it. He just intentionally doesn't care.
Jumper said we've made Jumper's night tonight. And if I can make one for
tonight, that's everything.
We will come back again then, even if it's just the 3 of us and Jumper. Obviously, Amy being our secretary, unpaid but much loved, and Chris doing any artwork that we need. We're going to need the quorum. But even if it's just us and Jumper, we will be back next week. But before we go...
Hang on, Kim, we got to do the volcano. You got to hang for the volcano. It's Mount Mama. It's the highlight of the show.
Because we're all about light and shade and balance. We've told you of our great leaders. We've also told you about our not so great ones. Can I just, for anyone who's despairing, thinking that America can't do leaders, Barack Hussein Obama, bless his little soul, has broken silence, finally, and spoken to Stephen Colbert. Whoop, whoop, Stephen Colbert. We love him. And he has shown us what a president really looks like. Now, we clearly do not have time to go through that wonderful example of statesmanship now, but we will pin the video to the video of this when it goes up on Substack. So you'll be able to see the video. And I will try and remember to go into YouTube and do the same and to redirect people to the clips, because watch it. It is really enjoyable and it will restore your faith.
It will uplift you. It will uplift you. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So do it. Do it. Do you want to know what the White House said in response to Obama's beautiful example of statesmanship?
What was
I
that?
quote,
Am I allowed to say the words, I don't give a rat's ass on this show?
you absolutely are. For anybody
Okay.
else who doesn't give a rat's ass, who just wants a little giggle at the childish behavior of this administration, the White House official response was to call Obama, quote, a classless moron who clearly suffers from a severe and debilitating case
Yes.
of...
I have a peace
Trump.
prize and you don't.
And
Yeah, also known as Trump derangement syndrome.
but we
just
all know
accept it.
Trump. When Trump accuses, he's accusing everybody else of what he is and does.
I
So
can't do
there's
this.
that.
I can't do this. It's time for the volcano, everybody. It's time.
Yeah, honey. Let's just throw them all in tonight. Just fuck it. Throw them all in.
It's the volcano.
This
And
is no armor.
usual caveats, because we're in a climate
He is very jealous.
of high temperature. So we want to just point out some really important things. Whatever this may look like, it's not a real volcano. Point
This
one.
is our disclaimer.
And whatever the people we're dropping into the volcano look like, they are not real people. No real people are being harmed. And we are trained professionals. We do this week in, week out. Do not go pushing people you don't like into volcanoes, okay? We do not endorse violence of any kind. We're merely
Nope.
keeping the following individuals safe from themselves, their terrible decisions, and frankly ridiculous lawsuits. So, who's going in the volcano? Who wants to go
You
first?
asking? I'll go first
Okay,
Pick
who's
me.
going in first?
because I still haven't come down entirely from my red light. Okay.
I think
Snorting Diet Coke here, Beverly. So, okay, my pick was Harmeet Dillon. And if you would like to know why, nicely done. Harmeet Dillon. She needs to go in the volcano, and here's why. She demanded Denver, Colorado to bye-bye. She demanded Denver, Colorado to repeal their ban in their city on assault weapons. Okay? No AR-15s, that kind of business. So she is demanding they repeal that ban. Anybody make sense of that? And so their Denver mayor had a press conference, and he said, she said, we want a response by tomorrow. He scheduled a press conference, got on there, and he said, you wanted a response? Here's our response. Hell no. I loved it. So she said, oh, we'll bring suits, and that's exactly what she did. She's suing them.
Good. She's in. Perfect. Moving
Yeah.
on.
The other thing she did.
Sorry.
She then brought suit against the state of Colorado for their ban on high cap magazines for guns.
Oh,
like 30 round mags, right? Who needs a fucking 30 round mag unless you're going to do a school shooting? But she wants to repeal that ban, y'all. Do you hear that? I need a red light. Red light, please.
Yeah, no, Laura,
Jesus.
take a breath. Summer, give me
I need
something
a red
else.
light.
Listen, I had two nominees. One was Polly Want a Cracker, and the other one was...
Let me see.
Now, this is more of a preventive thing because he's really not bright enough to go up against Carney right now. So Polly Want a Cracker needs to go down now and just, let his steam out in the volcano. Anyone from Canada happy? If you're happy, just put happy faces in the... Yeah.
Remember, we just put them in here for safekeeping. They can come out if they redeem themselves. This is like... It's like an ICE detention center, only with human rights. Who else, Summer?
Okay. And of course, Trump. And I really don't need to say anymore because Laura said it all. I nominated Trump just to prevent Laura from getting
DJ Twat. Yep.
And just in case anybody thinks these are real people, because they are very lifelike, this one is called DJ Twat, and he is inspired by the behavior of Donald J. Trump. He's not actually, because look, different name. He's a lot thinner as well. In you go. Laurie, got any more for us?
I was trying to explain to Tamara, who asked, "What's the red light story?"
Oh, yes.
And are my messages coming across in the chat? Because I don't see them. Do y'all see anything from me in the last?
I see you.
You do?
I see you.
I don't know why my chat's not updating. But
Laura, can you tell us about Amy's nomination, please?
do I look like a deer in the headlights?
Have you got that page of the script?
Okay, sorry. I'm a paragraph behind always, y'all.
I have it. I have it.
You got it? Go, girl.
I got it. Chief Justice John Roberts.
Oh, hell to the yes.
Architect of
injustice.
That just handed Trump the gerrymandering green light into the volcano. Into the volcano, into the volcano he goes.
Do you like the picture I found of him looking sneaky?
Oh, he looks like
he's got really big ears.
He has taken us back to Jim Crow. Thank you, Chief Roberts, that we worked so fucking hard to get out of. We literally are heading right back there, guys. We've got to do everything we can.
I'm in so I've got a couple who are going in for safekeeping because they can't stop themselves from filing lawsuits. We've got we've got the future former Attorney General Todd Blanche. In you go. We've got I can't say this without laughing. Head of the FBI, Partosh Patel.
Neither can we.
Because he's just filing, he's filing lawsuits against journalists for saying he's got an alcohol problem and then handing out bottles of alcohol with his name on. I can't make this shit up. And then
you cannot make it up.
My one nominee, you may have already guessed, Nigel Garbage. Nigel Garbage.
Garbage, excuse me. Now we say garbage here in the South.
Yeah, we do. We say Farage, but he says Farage, so that must be Nigel Garbage.
Well, we say garbage. It's all tomato, you know, kind of.
And there we go.
It all fits.
That is everybody in the volcano.
1 minute to go.
If they behave themselves, they can come back out again. So there's always hope.
Right.
We believe in redemption.
Just so we can put them back in.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. They can always be thrown back. I think we've thrown Trump in every single week we've done this.
Now,
we got 1 minute.
Many of you will want to scoot over to Glenn, and for you, we just thank you so much for being here. Your company means the world to us. We are genuinely nothing without you. I mean, we could get on and sit and chat and knock up a storm, but it's so much more fun with you guys in the audience. If you have enjoyed tonight's show, please do the things like share, tell a friend, recommend us to a friend if you've enjoyed it. If you've hated it, recommend us to an enemy. See, it's win-win.
It works out.
Show notes, receipts and bibliography will be available on Substack for our paid subscribers, but we will be posting the Obama video in the main video so that everybody can have a look at that if you haven't already found it. If
those look like this, very nicely done.
Yeah, there's the receipts. Now, if we always finish with a moment of calm, but if prayer and reflection is not your thing, then off you go. Go get to Glenn. Quick, go. You can still make it.
I'm saying prayer.
If you want to stay, you guys, you go, you be safe. We'll see you here next time. But if you're staying, just take a moment. Calm yourself down. Connect with whatever spiritual guide or higher power works in your life. And tonight, I've got a poem which is like a prayer, and it is from John O'Donoghue's For a Leader. And that's from To Bless the Space Between Us. And here it is. To all our leaders, all of them, the ones we have the ones we need, and the ones we're still waiting for. May you have the grace and wisdom to act kindly, learning to distinguish between what is personal and what is not. May you be hospitable to criticism. May you never put yourself at the center of things. May you act not from arrogance, but out of service. May you work on yourself, building and refining the ways of thought and action that can make you fully available to the work you have undertaken. May you learn to cultivate the art of presence in order to engage with those who meet you. When someone fails or disappoints you, may the graciousness with which you engage be their stairway to renewal and refinement. May you treasure the gifts of the mind through reading and creative thinking so that you continue as a servant of the frontier where the new will draw its enrichment from the old. And you never become a functionary. May you know the wisdom of deep listening, the healing of wholesome words, the encouragement of the appreciative gaze, the decorum of held dignity, the springtime edge of the bleak question. May you have a mind that loves frontiers so that you can evoke the bright fields that lie beyond the view of the regular eye. May you have good friends to mirror your blind spots. May
Seriously. And give you red lights.
May leadership be for you a true adventure of growth. We ask for this in your name, God. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mama. That was beautiful and apropos for the evening.
Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much, gang. It's so lovely to have you here in the cafe, but we have gone long again because we just can't stop chatting when we get together. And
Listen,
we're all late for
make
Glenn, so
decisions in love.
everybody quick, run over there and blame me, and we'll all see you over there. But I'm afraid for tonight, for this week, the Mamas meeting and the cafe is now closed. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.